Hi, my name is Hannah Scalaberg and I'm 20 years old and I go to school in Arizona at Northern Arizona University and I've been shooting professionally for 4 years now. I started shooting when I was in high school. I had a friend who wanted me to take her senior pictures for about 50 bucks, which is pretty good for someone my age then, just to make within like an hour, hour and a half. And so I started shooting and I was thinking, actually I could make some money with this. But I actually really enjoyed the creative side of it too as well. So I started doing a bunch of research. I started asking questions. I emailed a bunch of photographers, trying to figure out how I could learn as much about photography as quickly as possible. And so I made a Facebook page for my close family, friends to be able to keep up with my photography that I was doing at the time, and I made an Instagram page, and then people started to ask me for pictures. I was doing a lot of senior pictures for when people are graduating high school, and so that's kind of how I got started with that. I started when I was 16. And so now I'm a natural light photographer that specializes in portraiture as well as couples and lifestyle. I do some weddings, but not as much as I do working with one-on-one people or just couples. So that's my strong point. That's what I enjoy for the most part. Now I have about 250 clients since I started, as well as having shot a wedding in Scotland. I backpacked France and had my camera with me and got beautiful images from that. I also was in Norway and Sweden and had sessions there, as well as Luxembourg and Ireland. So currently I'm shooting a Nikon 750, which was a very expensive camera that I just recently bought, but it was needed to keep growing in photography. My camera that I had at the time when I first started, it was too simple. It was a crop sensor, which means that it zoomed in on a photo. So it was almost like this, whereas if you have a full frame, it's like when you take a picture, you have a lot more on the edges and then you can crop in later when you're editing. So I bought that camera and that was a very good purchase, but it was expensive, but I needed it. So anyways, I'm working with that right now, as well as a 50mm lens and a 28mm lens, both with a f-stop of 1.8. So in thinking about the pros and cons of photography, I tried making a list, but really I only had pros. For me, photography is the one art medium that I haven't done that I haven't got bored of yet. So I did painting and I did drawing, I did sewing, I did all sorts of hands-on creative stuff, but it was after a certain amount of time I would get bored, and I'd move on to the next art project. And so anyways, but photography, there's always something to learn. So it's it's just huge. You can go from learning about composition 1 second and then you can go to learning about how to shoot in RAW, or the possibilities are endless. So in thinking about the pros, the cool thing that I really like is that I'm able to make my own work schedule. I'm not limited on when I have to show up for a certain job or for a certain time. As a student, now I'm going to school for graphic design, and I have a really busy schedule, and so it's important for me to be able to fit in my school, but then I get any of my free time if I'm not traveling to like California on the weekends, or sometimes I go back home to Georgia. I can spend that time putting in to emailing clients. I am working on my Instagram or on my Facebook page, or I might be advertising downtown, handing out flyers, or posting on Facebook, trying to get my information up to get people to respond to me. So it's really quite nice because I can work as much as I want, or I can work as less as I want. And with the ability of being able to schedule in people, of saying, oh, okay, I have an opening this night for this week, I can try and book in something, so I can make a little extra cash here and there, which is pretty cool. I am definitely a people person, and so for me, I really enjoy being able to work one-on-one with people. You get interaction, you get to talk to them, you get to tell them, okay, yeah, let's put you in this pose. And you also get to work with all types of people. You get to work with people who maybe are a bit more shy in front of the camera. And so when you're shooting people like that, it's a lot it's a lot of fun to get a beautiful image and to show it to them later, and they get really excited about it, and that's a really good feeling. So working one-on-one with people is a huge pro. Also, for me, like I had mentioned, I don't get bored with photography very easy. It's constantly changing. I'm constantly having to think about buying new gear, learning something new. There's always new challenges. I'm just getting into wedding photography more seriously, and so like that has been the most recent challenge of trying to learn how to do that. But it's just having that flexible schedule of I can work now or I can't work now. One con about photography is that it can be expensive if you're trying to buy a lot of gear, but I started out with some very simple gear, and I did great with it, and you learn a lot if you teach yourself. So it's kind of a con, but you can turn it into a pro. Something else is that it can be really busy at certain times of the year, whereas at like around the holidays, for example, it can be really busy, or in May when people are done with school. So that can be kind of stressful, but if you plan it out and let people know that you have a lot of sessions, that they know, okay, the turnaround time is about 2 weeks to get all of their pictures back. So anyways, but that's kind of the rundown on that. I really enjoy it, and it's definitely worth learning, even if you aren't doing it professionally, or if you're just wanting to learn for fun. You should definitely take the time to give it a go. Thanks!